welcome to Chaotic Riff TV News Update, episode number 13. Now, in case you guys were wondering, we took off last week because it was Labor Day. Hope you all enjoyed your Labor Day. I had a great day off, but I'll tell you what, we're back to business this week, and just today, September 10th, let me tell you, we world premiered our latest episode of the This Is Metal show. And this episode featured our featured interview with dead Daisies guitarist Doug Aldrich. Now, let me tell you, Tom and I really enjoyed having Doug come on the show. I'd interviewed Doug once before, about 4 or 5 years ago. Both times found him to be a super nice guy. And what made this interview kind of fun is you guys notice when you watch our episodes, each episode kind of has a personality all its own, which is really what I love about doing these Zoom interviews. And at one point in the interview, Doug makes a statement, I'm really sorry, you guys, I had to come to my, do this interview in my car. But we told him, Doug, we're just glad you're able to do it. So, don't worry about that. And we talked a lot about this great new album here. Can you see that? Can you see that? It's the Dead Daisies' latest album, okay, folks? It is Light 'Em Up, Light 'Em Up. Can you see that? Can you see that? Okay. Beautiful new album, okay? Yeah, so anyways, we're having fun with you, but it's called Light 'Em Up. And we talked all about the new Dead Daisies album that just came out last week. And I tell you, as I told Doug, during our episode, interviewed him, I just really love the Dead Daisies. They're one of those bands to me. If you think that rock is dead, I point to the Dead Daisies, and they're my proof that rock is alive and well. Well, I tell you, like I told Doug in this interview, I love all your stuff, Doug. But I told him, I think this one album, it's all killer, no filler. I mean, not a bad song on the album. You get 10 great rockin' tunes. We talked specifically about some of the songs. We talked about the song "I'm Gonna Ride," which they made a great video for. And in fact, watch the episode, and you'll see where I asked Doug, "Hey, Doug, who's the guy at the beginning of the "I'm Gonna Ride" video who's talking about the biker life?" And so we find out who he is. So tune in. The episode, like I said, just premiered today, so you'll want to go and do that. Now, another thing you want to check out on our channel, Chaotic Riff, is I just posted last week episode 12 of the Rik Fox Story. Now, from time to time, Rik Fox and he's been one of the guys probably I've interviewed the most over the years because he's got such a great, interesting story. I mean, when you hear that this guy's played with Steeler, Wasp, and got a lot of great stories to tell. So at one point I thought, okay, Rik, we just go on Rik Fox's Wikipedia and you'll see what I'm talking about. So, I mean, we've got 12 of these episodes up now, and they were of course done over the course of a number of years. And the latest one just went up. This is the Rik Fox Story, part 12. And I got to tell you guys, when we started doing these episodes, they were almost like a radio podcast type of show. And since I think episode 8 is when we started turned it into a Zoom interview type of show, and they've been really a lot of fun. And I think part 12 may have been the best episode so far. And what I really enjoyed talking to Rik about was two things here. He's had a long-standing feud with Slaughter bassist Dana Strum, and we talk about that. But I seen recently where Dana and Rik, they ran into each other finally, and they both guys kind of being outstanding guys that they are, they took it upon themselves to get together in a room and talk things out, and they did. And Rik tells in part 12 of the Rik Fox Story, how that all came about, and that basically, he said that it's great to finally me and Dana kind of come to terms, and we make up and patched up our differences. And it was a lot easier, I think, than either one of us ever thought it would be. And so we got to talk about that. We got to talk about the fact that Rik recently got to jam on stage with the Stephen Pearcy band. He talks a lot about what that experience was like. And finally, we got a chance to talk about the recent passing of great white singer Jack Russell. And Rik shared with me over the years that him and Jack had a tight friendship. They were really good friends, and so he talked a lot about Jack Russell was a huge part of how him and Rik's late wife Tamara first got together, and he talked about the fact that his late wife Tamara and Jack are on the other side now, and talked a little about what both those people meant to him. And so I urge you to go and check that out. Also, going up on Wednesday, September 11th this week, we'll be posting my interview with James Gates, the bass player from Salem's Childe. Now, in the past, I've interviewed the band's guitarist and founding member Rob Salem, and Salem's Childe is one of those bands that really stand out to me because they're definitely a metal band, and they stand out because they don't really sound like anybody else. They're definitely a metal band, like I said, but they really got their own unique sound. And we talked with the bassist James Gates about the history of the band and the songwriting and the fact that James himself was previously the band's rhythm guitar player, and he talked about him and Rob Salem, the band's lead guitarist, and him kind of what it was like when they were a guitar team, and talked about making the switch to bass and what that was like, and we talked about the band's latest album. So that interview will be going up tomorrow on September 11th. So tune in for that. And also, as we always love to tell you guys about, our latest episode of Borras' Time Machine went up just last weekend, and it's a big one. It's episode number 68, folks, and it was a real fun one to do. Another first that we've done. This one was on Dr. No, the very first James Bond movie. Now, I chose Dr. No because it makes sense when you're going to start talking about a movie franchise. It makes sense to go back to the very first film in the franchise. And so, like I do for all of our episodes, is it'd been a while since I'd seen the movie, and so I wanted to have the movie be fresh in my mind. And so, besides doing the research like we always do for our episodes, I got myself a copy of the movie on Blu-ray, and I'm really glad I did, because besides getting to watch the movie again and having it be so fresh in my mind, one thing they did on Dr. No is they restored it like a lot of these old films that are getting up there in age, and they it was like watching a Blu-ray film, in the living room of my home, and it was magic. I just like watching it on the big screen, and that was because they restored the film, and I mean, like, they were on this island, this beautiful beach island, and the crystal blue sky. I mean, it was just amazing, the colors that I was seeing in this picture that they had restored. And again, this is a picture from 1962. So we talked about the fact that it was the very first James Bond movie. And few facts that I learned is, of course, Sean Connery was the original, James Bond, and I knew that. But Gard gets into the fact that because Sean Connery was the very first, James Bond, that's kind of his James Bond, and like it is for a lot of people. And he's like, other actors have come and gone, and they've done their they've done their version of James Bond, but it just was never the same as Sean Connery. He's like, Sean Connery will always be James Bond to me, and I get that. Well, I also learned that, okay, for anybody that's kind of curious, Sean Connery was actually in the first 7 James Bond films. So those are the movies he was in. And I have a feeling that Gar and I are going to revisit this because, get this also, for any of you trivia buffs out there. How many James Bond films have been made to date? 27. Not 7, not 17, 27. Now that is huge. So I have a pretty good feeling that in the future, Gar and I will be revisiting this. I would dare to say probably at least do an episode on probably at least the first 7 films, since those are the original 7 James Bond films starring Sean Connery. So go check out our latest episode for that. And finally, folks, to wrap up the news update today, I want to thank you all for making our This Is Metal anniversary episode so huge. Now, when I say huge, we had no idea. I mean, this thing just hit like a viral number of views, like nothing we'd ever experienced before, and we really appreciate that. I want to thank everybody for making it such a special episode, and it was because we wanted to celebrate Tom Collier's 1 year anniversary with the show as my co-host, and I think since Tom has come on board, the show has become really, really huge. And let me tell you, folks, we're getting ready to wrap up 2024, but the best is yet to come. And I say that because for a couple of reasons. Tom and I, every Wednesday when we get done doing the episode, I call him and we talk for about 20, 30 minutes about, hey, man, the show we just recorded, we just keep getting better and better, and it's better than the last episode we did, and that seems to be the case every time we record a new episode. And we've got some other things planned for the new year ahead, but you're just going to have to wait to hear about. But we'll save that for another day. But I tell you, part of those big plans is our This Is Metal video premiere show. The latest episode was featuring the Aquarius video by our good friend Rhino's band, Angels of Babylon, and very much like our anniversary episode. I mean, the video premiere episode for the Angels of Babylon video. It's just, it's still rising, and so there's no end in sight. People are continuing to check that out, and we want to thank you all for that so much. So. Thanks for continuing to support everything we do here at Chaotic Risk TV. And as long as you keep supporting us, we'll keep pumping out new shows for you guys. So thanks again. And I'm Jason J. Rock Houston, and I'll be seeing you all again next week. Take care. Bye for now.